Hi all, now we are at module 2. In this we'll be discussing on the energy management opportunities in motors, lighting, electrolytic process and electric heating. So before going into the energy management opportunities in the motors, first we'll be discussing about the basic fundamentals. So a motor is actually a device which is going to convert electrical energy into mechanical energy. So you can just imagine a electric motor driving a water pump for pumping water from the well to the tank. So it is going to drive a mechanical load. So we have already discussed the various types of industrial loads in the previous lecture. So it is a constant torque, constant power and variable torque loads. Now we'll just see what are the different types of motor. So the types of motors are DC motor and AC motor. And nowadays the most commonly used motor is the AC motors. It is being used in industries and also it is being used in our homes. And in the classification of AC motors, we have basically two types. One is a slip ring induction motor that is being used in high starting torque applications. So in the case of cranes, mills and large fans, will be using a slip ring induction motor because it is able to produce high torque because the system is already having a particular load will be there. And the other classification is squirrel cage induction motor, and around 85% of the motors will be of squirrel cage type. So it is used in a general application. So now we will be seeing what is motor efficiency. So it is the effectiveness by which we are converting an electrical energy to the mechanical energy. So the efficiency as such of any system, it is same as output power divided by input power into 100. And this power rating of a motor is generally given as kilowatt. So in kW we will be mentioning. And whenever we are saying that a motor is, say it is 75 kilowatt motor, then this 75 kilowatt is nothing but the power it is able to produce at the output. And in place of kilowatt, we will also represent a motor rating as an HP, that is the horsepower. So sometimes you will be seeing it as HP, a half HP motor, a 5.5 HP motor, like that will be having various ratings will be there. So efficiency is always output power divided by input power. So this output power is nothing but the mechanical power and input power is nothing but your electrical input. So for a three-phase motor, it will be root 3 V L I L cos phi, where cos phi is nothing but the power factor. VL and IL are the line voltage and line current. So this is how we are calculating the efficiency of a motor. So always remember that whenever a motor rating it is given, it is 75 kilowatt or 5.5 HP, it is nothing but the output power. Now we will be seeing the various losses in the case of a motor. The main losses classification is nothing but the copper loss and the iron loss. So the copper loss is nothing but the I square R loss. So the motor is made up of a winding. So this winding will be having the resistance. When the current is flowing through this particular resistance, then heat losses will be generated. So that is nothing but the copper losses. So it is depending upon the current. So depending upon the value of current which is flowing through the system, the copper loss will be varying. So this copper loss again, it can be classified in the stator copper loss and the rotor copper loss. So therefore the stator is nothing but the stationary part and the rotor is the rotating part. So you'll be having a stationary part and you will be having a rotor which is rotating. So the copper losses is always depending upon the square of the current. And iron losses are voltage dependent losses, and the basic classification of iron losses are hysteresis loss and the eddy current loss. So these eddy current losses, it can be reduced by having a number of laminated sheets inside the system, and the hysteresis loss can be reduced by taking a material which is having a lesser area under the BH curve, which you have studied in your first year. So if the BH curve area is less, then the hysteresis losses will be lesser. And the eddy current losses, it can be controlled by having a laminated sheets, thin laminated sheets. Now, the next type of losses are the friction and the windage losses. So it is nothing but the friction at the bearings and also the friction offered by the wind to the rotor, which is nothing but the windage losses. And apart from that, you are having the last classification, that is nothing but the stray load losses. And it is very difficult to estimate, and it is due to the opposite rotor flux. and generally it is directly proportional to square of the rotor current. So now we will be seeing the parameters related to the motor performance. So the first one is the motor loading. So motor loading is an important parameter which is going to define the performance of the motor. Next one is the applied voltage, and the last one is the balanced voltage supply. So motor loading we will be seeing in depth in the future slides. The applied voltage is that if the rated voltage is 230 volt and of the motor is 230 volt, and if I am giving a voltage of 250 volt, it is going to result in a higher operating losses. Similarly, the balanced voltage supply, that is in the case of a three-phase supply, you will be having three phases will be there, and if these phase voltages are different, so you'll be having R, Y, and B. So if VRY, VYB, and VBR, if these voltages are different, then it will result in an unbalance in the supply. So that will also again going to affect the performance of the motor. So this is just a slide which is showing the losses with respect to the applied voltage. So here you can see that this is at the full load operation, and the rated voltage is around 420 volt. So you can here you can see that this is 420 volt. There the losses is minimum. So the motor is at a full load operation, and we are going to apply the rated voltage. Now in either cases, if you are increasing the voltage or decreasing the voltage, the loss factor is going to increase. So that is seen over here. Similarly, when the motor is operating at 3/4 of the load, and if I am applying the same rated voltage, then it will be resulting in a higher losses than compared to applying a lower voltage. And again, if the motor is operating at half of the load, then again this is the losses curve. Here you can see that the minimum is operating at a lower voltage. On either cases, the voltage dependent losses is going to increase. So you can say that the losses is going to increase. So it is again not possible to reduce the voltage up to our wish. So there is a particular limit to a value which we can reduce the voltage. Below that it is not possible because the magnetization will not happen in the system. So therefore this is just a curve which is going to show you how the applied voltage is going to affect the operating losses in the case of a particular motor. So the basic formulas related to motor is the power is nothing but √3 VI cos phi, where cos phi is nothing but the power factor, and capacity of a motor is directly proportional to the torque, and this torque is again directly proportional to voltage square. So I can say that the capacity is directly proportional to voltage square. So capacity is nothing but the rating of a motor, that is the kilowatt or an HP, how we are going to represent it. So it is actually directly proportional to square of the voltage. So if I am trying to reduce the voltage, then obviously the rated capacity of the motor is also going to reduce. Now we are going to discuss on the motor efficiency at different loads. So first we will be plotting motor efficiency versus loading. So this is the percentage loading, and this is the efficiency. So you have a motor. So loading means, say 75 kilowatt is the output power, rated output power. That means this will be having certain efficiency will be there. So depending upon that rated efficiency, say it is taking 70 kilowatt. Now just imagine that this motor is operating at 50 kilowatt. The 50 kilowatt is the input power which is taken by the motor during its operation. So loading is nothing but 50 kilowatt divided by 70 kilowatt. And if the motor is taking only 35 kilowatt, the motor loading is nothing but 35 kilowatt divided by 70 kilowatt. So here it is around 50% is the loading of the motor. So whenever we are calculating the loading of the motor, always remember that we should take either on the output side or on the input side. But for electrical parameter measurement, it is always take the input parameters, because we are able to measure the voltage, current, and the power factor at the input side of the motor. And therefore, from the rated output power, we are calculating the rated input power using the rated efficiency value. So the motor efficiency curve will be something like this. And this is that particular percentage loading at which the motor efficiency is maximum. So it can be around 90% or 95%. And if I'm trying to operate the motor at a lesser loading, that is, the load on the motor is lesser, then the efficiency of operation will be lesser. So if I'm still reducing the loading on the motor, then still the efficiency reduces. So loading of a motor is an important criteria in assessing the efficiency of a motor. So this is a simple example of how to calculate the loading of a particular motor. So the motor is 75 kilowatt, and it is said that the full load efficiency is 87%. So you can calculate the input power which is taken by the motor. It is 75 kilowatt divided by 0.87. This will give you the input power. And it also says that it is drawing 30 kilowatt. So if this factor is X, then we can calculate the loading of the motor as 30 kilowatt, which is nothing but the input power which is drawn by the motor, divided by X, which is nothing but the rated input power. So the motor loading, it can be underloading or overloading, but in majority of the cases it will be always the underloading. So basically it is because of the design mismatch. That is, I need only a 75 kilowatt power, but I am going to install a motor of 110 kilowatt. So the motor will be operating at 75 kilowatt. So therefore what happens? It is operating at a lesser loading. And this lower loading operation will result in increased magnetization losses, reduced operating efficiency, and poor operating power factor. So that is with respect to the loading of the motor. And next parameter which we have seen earlier is that the motor performance is going to affect by the operating voltage. So the impact on the motor operating parameters is the capacity is directly proportional to the voltage square. So there will be a reduction in the voltage dependent losses if I am trying to reduce the voltage. So effectively the capacity is going to reduce, the power factor is going to improve, the load current drops, and the efficiency is going to improve. So this can be seen graphically. So this is the per unit magnetization losses, and this is the per unit voltage. So here you can see that